SharkyBreath.
He plays video games.
Hello, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Things are not exactly proceeding, I must say, as of late. What with all the puking. I seem to be puking a lot. I can't seem to handle the corpse stench. But I have spent enough time, what was it, compacting my shit? Something like that. Where's my thoughts, right? There it is. Volumetric shit compressor. Compressing my shit. That's what I was doing. Okay, cool. So that's what we were doing, and therefore we can actually try again. But I don't feel like I'm going to be any better at it than before. You know? Hang on. Let me check my... Do I have anything that's decreasing my endurance? Absolutely not. I'm just sort of terrible at it. Okay. That is too bad. Is there any usage for the lieutenant's handkerchief? Can I put it on my face? On my head? Can I wear it on my head? I cannot. It's not actually a clothes, it's an item. I see. Okay. Well, it would just be awfully convenient if I did have a way of increasing my endurance, you know? Maybe if I could, like, get more ammonia and soak this in it, then I would have a reusable source of ammonia, which, you know, didn't make things better last time, but ostensibly gives me a +1, which might be helpful. Anyway, I got some items I have to look at, didn't I? Let's see here. What did I get? Interactables. Yes, we've got the racist mug. Let's go ahead and have a look, I guess. Interact. How does that work?
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's actually quite a lot to read into here. Look at all that content. Got it. Oh, this was the bonus content, wasn't it? Yeah, it probably was. Sure. Let's look at all that content.
Oh boy. Here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. I'm going to push this into the face of every merchant I find and tell them, this is your inane ideology. The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling, i.e. fraud and embezzlement. The mug didn't belong in the trash. It was just a funny mug. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Oh, boy. Okay. So a personal example. Okay. So how am I going to approach this racist mug exactly? Since I am apparently insistent on carrying it around right in front of Kim. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm so sorry. Let's just go with the first one for right now, yeah?
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
I mean, I guess fair. I wasn't allowed to not pick it up as soon as I found it. I'm not sure why that was the case. Either way, that was edifying, sure. Let's go interact with something that seems a little bit more important. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look. Maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping notes on the case. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe my ID's in there somewhere. Let's interact.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Oh, so I actually threw it in the toilet, from whence Guard, is that his name? Guard? the cafeteria manager had to fish it out and throw it in the trash himself. Well, I'm sure he appreciated that. Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. Desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard.
I mean, it'll do that when damp. That's kind of the whole point.
It's a metaphor for you.
Is it? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Waterlogged Ledger, for spelling it out for us.
Great. I've succeeded in conceptualizing myself as a piece of desperate toilet paper. Just barely, too. Look at that roll. Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Take it off? Leave it there. It's cool. Maybe it's kitchen tissue. Kitchen tissue? They look exactly the same. Do they? Kitchen tissue? What's kitchen tissue? Is that a thing? I want to know what kitchen tissue is. Let me inspect this option.
If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue.
Great. Please continue.
It's not, though. It's toilet paper.
Thank you, sense of smell. I'm going to take it off of my ledger. I know that that's symbolically challenging, but I think it's okay.
Still wet, the toilet paper. I mean, kitchen tissue,
Thank you.
peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger, and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
I'm glad I'm wearing gloves. Let's inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Why don't I run my finger across the aluminium, as it is Britishly pronounced? I mean, that is how it's spelled. No offense to my fellow non-Britishes, but, like, that is how it's spelled. Anyway, run my finger across it.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
It's almost like I was mentally blocking it out. Let's have a look.
Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
Okay. Hey, Lieutenant, what is this? Point to the sticker. Incidentally, it was after I questioned about the continue button being different colors, it was pointed out in the comments that the color of the continue button seems to correlate with the color coding of the check I'm about to make just thereafter. Man, I'm barely making all these checks. Look at that. 10 out of 10. Neat. Anyway, hey, Kim, what's this?
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Ah, he's lost in his own notes. It takes him a moment for him to see it. Interesting. What kind of information? How can I read it? That's all. Thank you. Conclude. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address.
Oh,
The information varies by date of issue.
that could be useful considering I don't remember anything about myself or where I live. Well, I mean, I don't probably live at my station, but at least I could find my way back. Maybe? Continue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
I suppose it might. Sure. How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
All right. Like, for example, remember, I don't know anything, Kim.
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
Well, that's convenient. I would like to use your halogen watermark revealing headlight thing, please.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Well, then, perhaps I will. That's all, thank you.
Okay.
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight.
Look, I'm trying, okay? I've been through a lot, apparently. I don't exactly know what, but it seems to have been a lot. Browse the white papers, please.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting.
They're just being
Ink
pedantic.
escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs.
Faint red lines, huh? Okay.
Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands.
More than 100.
They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about? I mean, probably hard to tell at this point, thanks to, somebody throwing it in the toilet.
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter.
Jamrock!
These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention.
I'm curious
But
about
there
that.
are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you.
Minded. All right. That seems in character. What's this? What check am I making?
It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
But not actually solved them. I guess I have been having a difficult year, huh? Continue.
What do you mean? Is that all?
That's it? Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant? There was mention of a naming convention here. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room? I'm done inspecting these. Okay, let's just go top to bottom. Yes, time's a wasting. I recognize that, but I'm curious. That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Sure. I mean, that does make sense. I didn't probably start being a cop in 51, after all. Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Well, far be it from me to start making mistakes, of course. He raised his nose from his notes, by the way. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though. Not in return to the case notes. I've had kind of an open information policy with Kim so far. He hasn't seemed to appreciate it, but I'm gonna keep at it, dang it.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way.
Yes, he did.
That was presumptuous of me.
No, it wasn't. He raises both eyebrows, by the way. I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes. I burned out all right. A nice brisk pace, the way I like it. How do we wish to approach this? I am sure I made plenty of mistakes, and I am certain I burned out. So given that I'm seeming to get a new lease on this whole thing, why don't we just go ahead and state it like it is? I burned out.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
I guess. He nods, then turns back to his own case files. All right, well, that's big of you. Continue.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Like a fan of gills. Oh, like you have on a fish. I understand. Yes. There was mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
All right. Well, where am I going with this?
A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Wait, are you meaning to tell me that I'm into crime fiction after criticizing Annette so much last time? Or not Annette's necessarily, but more Annette's clientele. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too. I don't wanna. Okay, well let's see them. Let's see them.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
Square bullet hole. I wonder how that works. Anyway, do continue.
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
It does seem that way, doesn't it? Also, why is the murder at the hookah parlor more lighthearted than anything else around here? I mean, come on now. Sure, it's a hookah parlor, but that's just the thing that people do. It's still a murder. Anyway, continue.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You skipped the word later, but that's okay. Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention. I doubt he cares, but let's go ahead and tell him.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
That's the one. Lie. No, we're not lying to Kim. I already said. No, I mean a non-numeric one with titles. I am a strange person. Have you noticed?
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I.
Really?
In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
I wouldn't have thought. Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM. Right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Don't mention it. Why wouldn't I mention it? Of course I'm going to mention it.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one The Man with the Hole in His Head.
Oh.
That was a real person.
It was.
His death was real.
Yeah.
Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
You seem to be penitent on this matter a little bit, but only a little bit. I mean, it's fair. We probably are going to still keep doing it, aren't we? Almost certainly. You get desensitized to this stuff after a while, I suppose. It's inevitable. Do continue.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
He smiles, though. Also, he peeked at his notes earlier. I forgot to mention. What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Interestingly, that would create a square-shaped hole, wouldn't it? I mean, aren't rail spikes usually square? I don't know what I'm talking about. Count the pages. I have to open in official cases the room. That one.
There is, for precisely one more.
Wow.
15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Well, isn't that convenient? You might almost say fateful. Continue, please.
Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Yes, I suppose that would be one way to look at it. Commit to paper! All right, let's do it.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event.
That's the wrong kind of lead, but that's okay. Unfitting of this monumental event. Okay, I'm not content to use the stumpy pencil. Well, fine. What would you have me use then?
The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But...
Kim, do you have a pen? Or no matter, I'll just use the pencil. I mean, I like pencils overall, but I seem to have stopped using them in adulthood, which is... I've never really understood why that happened exactly. I don't know. I like being able to erase stuff, but eventually just sort of stopped mattering. I don't know. In any case, sure, if we're so set on this, let's see if Kim has a pen.
the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt.
This is also looking fateful, but are you willing to part with one? That's the question.
He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
There seems to be history here. Can I have one? Or fine, I'll just use this crappy pencil. That seems like we're just trying to guilt him into it, and it might just work. He does seem to be a kindly man. I feel like we should just ask for it. If we're going to ask for it, ask for it. We've already committed to this course of action. Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
Oh no! I have gained a blue oblong pen. With this beauty, commit to paper. Okay, sorry Kim, thank you.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters.
It's almost like
The
it's my writing.
writing comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity.
Let's see what you got.
Inspect the victim's body.
Okay,
Interview the cafeteria manager.
I did that one.
It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished. In this case, the one you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you.
Except there was only one of them, but thanks anyway. Continue.
You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion.
You called me Harry again, yet I don't seem to actually know my name, do I? Or at least I haven't mentioned it to Kim. And you keep healing my morale, but I've only got one, so that doesn't actually make any difference is the thing. I've got a level worth of experience. I'm really tempted to throw it into volition, so I'm not, toying with my own death all the time, but I also feel like I might need that in endurance. I'm not sure how plentiful experience is going to be. It makes me nervous. Let's continue.
Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Right. That does seem important, I guess. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? Seems relevant. He's had his shit together a lot better than I have.
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man, The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror, The Setting Sun, Shit on a Stick. Actually, I don't have one. The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror. What does that even refer to? The Setting Sun. We've been at it all morning. I mean, the sun has set on this case several times. Is that what you're referring to? The Hanged Man's a little bit on the nose, but these mostly seem to be like that. Shit on a stick? I mean, probably you're not wrong, I guess? But we haven't really gotten into the thick of it just yet, have we? What's The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror? Am I just making things up at this point? What's the in the mirror? What? I am curious what Kim would come up with also, but this is probably my only opportunity to be a weirdo about it, right? This is not nearly as important as I'm making it out to be, is it? This has nothing to do with anything, though. It's like needlessly poetic to the point where it comes across as stilted, you know? I was trying to convince myself to take it, but I don't think I want to. This is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. I don't think that Kim's going to necessarily appreciate this, but he did tell me to get my shit together. Who knows? Let's run it by him.
Yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger.
Good point. You got a point there, Kim. Can I try again? Can I take another run at it?
They're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny.
Yeah, I suppose I can do something less funny. If we want something that's actually going to tell them what happened in this case... Well, wait a second. He shot that one down. I could try this one and see what he thinks of it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but I'd kind of like to hear him say that.
Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest. I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also...
He froze his brow.
Could you make it less poetic somehow?
I was saying, right?
Just a normal case name, you know? Think. What would that be? A good normal name.
Are you running out of patience, Kim?
Yes, yes. You know what that normal name is. But it's so plain. Anything else, please.
My conceptualization will not tolerate it. Of course it's the Hanged Man, but like... And I guess I've named them that in the past, though, right? The setting sun has nothing to do with anything. Are we just going to draw this out as much as possible? Let's do it.
Okay. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that.
It's true. You have a point. You're going to corner me on this one, aren't you, Kim? All right, continue.
Something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete, mundane, usual?
Do we make him do it, or do we do it ourselves? Fine. This is a partnership. There's going to have to be compromise. I understand. The Hanged Man it is.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking, too.
Mm-hmm.
The Hanged Man.
Good.
Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were going to say. All right, cool. Done.
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Is it? Well, we did it. Great. I got 30 experience for coming up with the most mundane title you could possibly come up with. But you know what? Kim's happy, and that's okay. He flips the pages of his notebook. I didn't mention. That's okay, though. I'm done inspecting these. Close the case files.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
That is probably true. I could smell them. I'm guessing this will hurt me. Why would I do that? Why would I?
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off
got a check
on the
coming up.
cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Yeah, quite a combination. Let's see if I fail this next thing.
You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Yes, I got that impression. Which toilet would that be? I mean, it would be the one inside the building I just left. Otherwise, I could say, shut up, Nose, I don't need your help. I don't need anyone's help. Now, the last time I got this belligerent with my brain, I mean, I did get experience for it. I already know the answer of which toilet that would be, but ostensibly Harry might not, but I feel like he does, right? Also, you do need anyone's help, probably. How much do we want that experience? It was only 5, right? Listen, just finish the thought. It's fine. Which toilet?
Remember when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank they should have sent a poet to describe it?
Is sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner a line this poet might have used?
Why, yes it is.
Hey!
Among many other things. This cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in rags.
Yep.
Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet. By you.
I also made that conclusion, but you know what? Now at least it's official. Great. Sounds good. I feel like I could read the case files, but this may not be the time for it. That would probably take a lot of time. Let's have a look at the yellow papers quick.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out.
Right. The paperwork. The famous, notorious paperwork. Do continue.
Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Yeah, I suppose. Field autopsy, that seems relevant at the moment, doesn't it?
You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. Misconduct fine, please.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork.
Right.
The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Might this not be the way that I can make the money that I need to pay to the, something in rags? The place where I owe money? Why can't I remember the name? Whirling in Rags, that's the one. Continue.
But they appear pleasantly vague.
Don't they just? All right, station call, please.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Threats.
All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
Yeah, isn't that nice? It's like they don't want you to read them or something like that. Also, I seem to be making a lot of checks, don't I? Like most of the checks I've been making lately, I seem to be succeeding at, except for the one involving the stench of this here corpse, which is a really important one. Oh well, field autopsy, please.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Oh, like if I was going to do the field autopsy, which I guess I'm technically supposed to sort of do if I could, manage to keep my... I was going to say lunch, but I don't think I've had lunch in my stomach. Enough of these. Close them forms.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys.
I mean, that does seem to make sense. That would seem to be my job, I think.
The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
How convenient. Let's have a look at that clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with.
Really?
The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM.
I would feel like it would feel thick and heavy in my hand given that it has over 100 sheets of paperwork attached to it, but yeah, fair enough. I wonder if I'll have to try to beat someone to submission with it. Shake that leisure.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Seems like a weird thing to have, but okay.
And something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps.
Perhaps?
Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
And something did happen to it. I guess let's have a look inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
Sure, but there's got to be a way to open it. How would I do that?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
I guess? Let's try and open the hidden compartment. I'm wearing gloves, which actually will help in this regard. I feel like they shouldn't, but they do. Ha ha! Open it!
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides.
Okay.
If you bend the plastic on your knee, slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Slide the drawer open. Wait, somehow I don't want to. Fuck no, put the ledger away. Well, my internal whatever it's called, the part of me that is my imagination, definitely warned me about opening this thing up, and I wouldn't be surprised if, well, the clipboard was why it didn't want me to, first off, but I wonder if the thing in here is particularly relevant. This isn't an exit option, so I'm going to go ahead and do it for character flavor. I don't want to, necessarily.
What are you waiting for? Just
slide the drawer open.
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
And what's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Interesting. Pick up the ticket stubs. Pick up the card. Fucking kill yourself, you asshole. Close the permeables compartment. Interesting. We're starting to get to the heart of the problem in terms of my mental breakdown, aren't we? Good thing I've got this morale drug. Pick up them ticket stubs, please.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
I feel like that sort of thing normally has some kind of a time limit on it, but I wonder if I can use that to get in at this point. However, I suspect that I had plans specifically with this. Proceed if you pick up the card. Oh, if it's going to hurt my brain, it's going to do it when I pick up the card, isn't it? Ugh. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to it. Close it for now. Close it for now.
It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand.
Right. Let's have a look at the case files real quick. Hey, +1, Kim explained the system. Thank you, Kim.
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example,
Are you actually going to read it out?
HDB 41120111700, the next world mural.
So in this case, that would be December 1st, and you arrived on the scene at 5 p.m., the next world mural. Wait, HDB 41, weren't those Officer Precinct? How long does it take to read a case? I think they were Officer Precinct, yes.
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HTP is my initials, isn't it? Isn't it?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Horace Debbie Beringer, Hram Darjan Binzakin. That's a pretty good one. Those aren't my initials. I'm not feeling them. Wow, I don't know what to say to that. How about Binzakin?
Yeah, no.
Okay. How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
I don't at the moment. Half an hour each? Got it. We'll deal with this later. I can revisit this.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. Without resistance or sound, the 2 panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, you see 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Okay. This is not a productive thought. It's informative that it exists. I feel like choosing it is only going to hurt me, so I'm not going to, okay? Okay, pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Smell it first, open it, put it back. Smell it first.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored.
Here goes a senses check.
A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Memories that I have suppressed, I assume. And I'm prying at them. That may not be a good idea. Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand.
The X something from earlier, I assume. Do continue.
A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting.
Rather from something in my brain that is struggling to make a connection. In her 20s. Does that mean this is a very old card? Or is this not my ex-wife? Or did I just marry someone really young? I don't know. I can't remember anything yet. Do continue, though.
Harry, it begins.
That's me.
You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
I bet you it won't. Keep reading or put it away. Keep reading. Harry is me. Harry is me. Turns out Harry is me. Keep reading.
Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me,
The world is getting darker, isn't it?
I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road.
Was it already like this? Was it already dimmed like this? Was it that way the whole time? I can't remember. Continue, I guess.
Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Keep reading or put it back. It's coming, I know. Keep reading.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
But she didn't. Did she?
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear.
Have I just fainted? It seems like I may have. Lizard brain?
Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. A streetcar distancing.
Good job, conceptualization. Sure are rocking these rolls. Continue.
You feel the ledger slip from your hand.
Item lost, damaged ledger. Fall sideways. I have no other choice. Here we go. Kim, catch me? He's not going to. It's fine. I'll be all right. How long am I going to be out? Oh! Title splash! Disco Elysium. Finally, the game is starting. Begin. Begin.
There is nothing.
Oh no, are we actually starting over? Did I lose? Did I die? Continue.
Again.
Nothing? Just lie there passed out. I questioned it last time, I question it this time. I question forever. Nothing?
Nothing said, brother. No treachery, just blackout.
Is the treachery mine? Is that... I don't know enough. Just lie there passed out, I guess.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
It's part of my brain, right? But, no, let's go ahead with it. Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
Oh, you're the basal ganglia. Interesting. And who was that? Nice and quiet. And who was what? Do you mean the me that was just a minute ago? Who was that?
Who was what?
That's what I was wondering.
He speaks of the sickening longing, the
Ah,
unwell emotion.
that one.
Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Hey. Don't call my longing slimy. I mean, I guess you can. You're me. If anyone can, you can. Yeah, that's the stuff. No, I was cool. I'm cool. I'm not cool.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow.
That's dramatic. That sounds like me. Do continue.
Because it's always there.
Ah, thought gained. White morning. Continue.
Tell him. Tell him.
What? Tell me what? Or are you saying that to me to... What?
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one.
Ah, yes.
It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do?
Smelled so nice. Smelled like betrayal. Are you suggesting that hers was the betrayal? I don't have enough information. It sounded like it smelled nice.
It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Okay, well, thank you for the correction, limbic system. Was that the X something? Where is Voyager Road? There was something about a bow collector, too. Enough, just lie there motionless. I want to ask all these questions. Let's start here. The X something,
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
No, it was beautiful. Yes, that. Clinging to the past? Probably not going to get you anywhere. It might get you passed out on the ground, apparently.
Don't prod at it. It will start moving again.
You're probably right, I guess. Where's Voyager Road? I'm going to prod at it.
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
It was probably my first mistake to ask you, of all people. There was something about a bow collector, too? Was there? Bow collector. Bow collector?
Yeah, man. What was that about?
I'm not really sure. I think I missed it myself. I may have been distracted. Enough, I guess I'll just lie there motionless.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecule?
Probably not.
No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Hey, don't call Kim that. He's a good guy. I'm not coming back. I am coming back. What is that? It's cold. What is that?
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And it's...
Guess let's find out.
It's delicious.
Okay. Thanks.
Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Oh, we're in the car. Where am I? Cooper's Kinema. I still don't know how to pronounce your dang car, Kim. Where am I?
In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Ah, he just gave me a drink of water. I mean, I could probably use it. I'm desperately dehydrated, what with all the, drinking and then the puking and the lack of self-care. Continue.
Drink. Water.
Please. The lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth. Drink. No, I don't want to. Drink it.
The water is cold,
Thank you.
silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
I like it when the darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
Yeah.
You need a secondary form of hydration.
I'm pretty sure that at the time I wasn't particularly concerned with the human body surviving, but, we'll deal with that later. Drink, please.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
Which is kind of him. Do continue.
What happened?
I should ask you the same. I came in contact with the burnt-out ruins of the past, Lieutenant. Conclude. I was dehydrated. It won't happen again. Conclude. Fuck it. Start climbing out of the motor car. Conclude. Let's go with the non-conclusion. I should ask you the same, since I was unconscious for it, apparently.
You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
But how long was I out? About 15 minutes. I was paying attention. But, yes, how long?
10 minutes, maybe.
Right. I came into contact with the burnt-out ruins of the past, Lieutenant. I did. That's what caused it. That was it. I mean, the dehydration probably didn't help. But it was this.
That does sometimes happen.
Item gained. Ledger of failure and hatred. He hands you the remains of your ledger. Thank you.
He replies with such understanding. It's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
Maybe it is. Do continue.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Let's solve this case. Leave. Just nod. Leave. These are both confirmatory. It's just the enthusiasm level. Let's try and pour some enthusiasm into it. Redirect the energy, I guess. Yeah, solve it. I'm back. Good. Continue.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses.
Oh, nice.
Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
Great. Thank you. End. Look at all this stuff I have to inspect. Okay, let's see here. First off, let's have a look at the ledger of failure and hatred, huh? Oh, blue oblong pen. Look at that. A blue pen, like a large caliber bullet that shoots out ink, once belonging to Lieutenant Kitsuragi, comes with a side order of resentment. It does! It does. Thank you, Lieutenant. Tools. Ledger of failure and hatred. +1 Inland Empire, +1 empathy, -2 authority. I don't have much authority to begin with, though, do I? I feel like my authority is 1. Would that make it a -1? Well, let's hold it for now. Great. Empathy. Look at me go. What do we got? What do we got? Inspect the victim's body. It's only updated because I did equip and complete volumetric shit compressor. So I could technically try again if I wasn't so busy passing out from the past. Read the watermarks. Get in front of the Kanema's headlights. Kanema's headlights to read the halogen watermark in your ledger. This may yield some information about who you are. First go to the Kanema and turn on the lights. I can do that, probably. I can probably do that. I've got some new thoughts, though. The Bow Collector. Temporary research bonus. -1 authority. Hell on Earth. -1 hand-eye coordination. Hell on Earth. 6 hours and 10 minutes. Sparks fall like snow from the Bow Collector of streetcar number 42. Slowly down the slope from Voyager Road and then east on the B-206 across the river to where there are no closed factories or ruins. To study at the academy. Electrical cables run overhead, and the Bow Collector draws across them like a musical instrument. A flash. She's standing at the rear window, holding onto the rail, in a spring coat, waving at you. Hell on Earth, huh? Lovely. Well, before we just go ahead and internalize that, which I may not actually be able to do, unlock a new slot to research the thought. I see. How do I do that? Unlock. Initialization requirement. Interesting. White Morning. Temporary research bonus. -1 authority. Little guy gets further and further away. Little guy? Research time 5 hours. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter. At the mention of what? A great white object, letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves! The feeling animates him. He's instinctively reached out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. The little man is me! I cannot have authority if I do not take myself seriously. I guess. White Morning. Can I actually look at the solutions before I research these things? I can't, can I? Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. How do I unlock these? Unlock. Spend 1 skill point to unlock new slot. Cancel. Skill point. The experience thing, yes? So I can either unlock more thoughts, or I can unlock more skills in the raw form. Right? Level up. Skill points 1. All of these take 1 skill point to level up. The thoughts seem important, don't they? The thoughts seem really important. Okay. Let's get out of here for now. Also, don't I recall... Hang on a second. Give me just a moment, if you would. Here. Map. I have a map. Continue. Map. Map. Hanged Man. Church, Fisherman Shacks, Martinez Waterfront. You are here. Martinez District in Jamrock Quarter of Revachol Zone of Control. I wish I could remember... I keep messing up how to pronounce this. These are found white checks. Those on white are available to try now. Kim Kitsuragi, Inland Empire Legendary. Hanged Man, Endurance Legendary. Sleeping Lockworker, Physical Instrument, Challenging. Got it. But I'm not able to do the mirror or Annette checks right now because I did them too recently. I understand. Okay. Well, let's at least shine the lights on my ledger and see if I can get any new information here. Apparently I gotta go around. Can't do it from the other side.
Inside,
sense.
you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights? Pick up the radio, pull out the pull-out toolbox, run your fingers over one of the steering levers. Well, let's start with the beginning. How do I turn on the headlights, please, Kim?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He turns the preheater on, waits, takes out his keys, and says that stuff that he just said. Press engine start. Bam!
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Kinema comes to life with a whiny growl.
That is quite a sound. I'm glad that it has backed off now that that little scene has ended.
Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time.
That's actually a pretty apt description of that sound I just heard. Press the button labeled headlights, please.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
Well, let's go get this done.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Let's do that first. We can come back to these other things. It'll be a lot easier to pick up the radio and report my badge missing if I can tell them who the heck I am. Close the door. Off we go.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
I'm getting a lot of those lately.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Micro-perforations. I wonder what those represent. Look at the shimmering street grid first, though, please.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kinema's headlights.
Wait, look around you. Or, where are we on this? Point to the halogen map. I'm guessing if I do look around me, I'm going to figure it out on my own, using my giant brain. Let's do it.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
He smells the air and says that thing he just said. Where are we on this? I mean, I did just check my map, but I'm guessing this is the map that I just checked, so where are we on this?
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. Seems nice. Seems like a shithole. I'm sure I've seen worse. Well, when everything looks nice from a distance, right? And Kim seems proud of it, so let's not antagonize him unnecessarily, right?
No, it does not.
The lieutenant says without optimism. Right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't bullshit you. Look at the perforations, please.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the different rows. Let's do it.
The first row has 18 dots.
Not bad, I suppose.
Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet.
And I'm still impressed. What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Guess I'll count them individually. What else is there to do?
You count 216 perforations.
That's lots.
Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
Huh. Am I making the holes in this? Apparently, I've been making the holes in this. Even though I don't know why I was making the holes in them anymore. What about the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations.
3? That's it?
That's it.
Huh. Hey, Kim, what all these holes mean? Provided you can even tell me.
Those are perforations.
Ah.
They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
That seems a little personal, but okay, go ahead.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
Ah. A veiled criticism, but I can hardly refute it, apparently. Since I did it. Alpha male officers, huh? Great, so that's me. Continue.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years.
That's quite a few.
Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Didn't I mention that I don't remember anything at all, Kim? Wait, 18 years I've done this? Got drunk like a megastar? I walked the land telling whores and liars of the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining. I was a hobo and I lived under a boat. Probably some boring office job, same as everyone else. I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time. Do you really think I have any idea? I mean, this gets the point across. It's less creative than the other options, but Kim doesn't appreciate my creativity anyway. 18 years I've done this.
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age.
Thanks.
What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
You're not Guillaume, Harry. You probably didn't do this. You might have been a hobo living under a boat, but it seems like you had a happy past with somebody. So far, I've just been going around apologizing to everybody all the time. So this would seem familiar anyway. That's the honest answer, of course, but he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to be confronted with the fact that I don't remember anything. But it is a fact.
Fair point. Let's move on, shall we?
I'm sorry, Kim. That was the boring option, wasn't it? I keep going with brutal honesty with you, and it's really not paying off. I gotta let the creativity run, don't I? I'm sorry.
This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished.
Nice.
You've got, let's see...
216.
Wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact. Is that a lot? I would have thought there'd be more. 216.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
So I was a really good officer before I turned into the worst officer. The lieutenant nods with evident respect, by the way. So you're saying I used to be a super cop? I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number? I don't think I can ever re-become this person. I'm going with this middle one.
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
So I'm a killer. I was expecting a higher number, honestly. That's not too many. Number 1, please.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
So I wasn't too much of a killer, but I'm still a killer.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. Hey, me neither. Do continue.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim? How do you handle the strain? Thanks for this, conclude. Let's ask.
Yes.
He says, declining to elaborate. Don't blame you. How do you handle the strain, Kim?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look. I'm pretty sure that wasn't my coping method, Kim. I think that was my way of raising it to the ground. It's just I failed. Which is something I seem to be good at. Continue.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what? Maybe I should find a hobby. Hobbies are lame! Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby?
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna get corpse goo all over him. He points out to your yellow gardening gloves. Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
He presses a remote control on the key. Neat.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
I suppose that I can, but that sure hasn't told me what my dang name is, and... Oh, I added it to the... I read the watermarks. It's now in the done tasks. I understand. That's why this was glowing. Okay, back to the Kinema.
Inside, you see a set of steering
Yes.
a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Well, let's look at the radio quick.
The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something.
Like what, for example?
The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
Okay.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
I've been pronouncing it the American way. Lieutenant. I suppose we would be lieutenants, wouldn't we? I'm probably going to keep saying lieutenant. I'm really sorry. Continue.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Thanks for the reaction time, Kim. Continue.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
Come in, dispatch. Come in, dispatch. She's already there. Come in, Delta 10. This is Firewalker. Copy. Hi, Alice. This is the officer from the 41st precinct speaking. Nice to meet you. Since I don't know my name. I thought I saw a thing that... I'm pretty sure I've confirmed myself as Harry, right? Oh, right. That was in the postcard that I cannot bring myself to remember without passing out. Okay. Do we be weird? I'm being weird at everybody who's not Kim, but we are going to embarrass him if we be weird. I'm weird. I'm a weird man. I'm sorry, Kim.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
You could swear she was friendlier with Lieutenant, and who could blame her? Continue.
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye.
You wonder what the
You wonder
Oh,
what
sorry.
the lieutenant's default radio station is.
Could you connect me to the 41st precinct? I have something to report. I need you to connect me to a civilian, a Sylvie. She may have reported a murder. Ignore Alice and press the button labeled saved. No. I'm done with the radio for now. End call. Honestly, like, I know I'm a chaos cop, but what the heck? I'm in the middle of a phone call. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have something to do. We're doing the thing. We're not pressing the radio button.
Just a second, officer.
She puts you on hold, a static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greet you on the radio. His rattly voice is oddly familiar. Continue.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
Do I have an accent like that? Do we all have French accents? Do we all have French accents and speak English for some reason? Continue.
The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
I don't know much, but apparently I know that. 10-4, Station 41. I've got an urgent business. Over. Yes, that.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over.
I'm not just reporting in. Oh, my status. Sure, I'm reporting in. Over, but I'm... Yes, yeah, I'm just reporting in. Over. That's fine. That's fair.
10-18, state your message, sir.
I need to report my badge missing. I am in dire need of financial assistance. This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss. 10-10, transmission completed, standing by, over, and call with the 41st. I need to report my badge missing.
10-9, over.
My badge, I can't find it anywhere. Basically, it's gone.
10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
I don't know what that means, but I probably do. The other me that's in the game. Continue.
Is it him? What does he want?
A dry voice asks in the background. I'm guessing it is, in fact, him. Hello.
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
Yes, that.
He what? He lost his badge?
Hey, who is this? Say nothing. This guy already is irritated with me, you can tell. I've probably been off the grid for 3 days and they lost... Well, they probably know exactly what's up. I'm guessing I didn't start drinking alcohol this weekend, judging by my nose. Let's not be any more antagonistic than we need to be. Say nothing for now.
Who lost his badge?
Oh, good. We got more people in the office. Chester McLean, hello.
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
Wasn't Dick Mullen the guy in the books, the Nets books? I get the joke. I got it. Continue.
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
He says, fighting off laughter. Very helpful, Chester. Thank you.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge.
True. Come on, operator. Tell them to stop. This is serious. Ha ha, officer has lost his badge. Ha ha. Like I'm the first cop to ever misplace his badge. Can't we just move on? I want to get it reported and be done with it. The operator is probably not going to back me up on this one. I'm going with this one just to try and defend myself a little bit, but I'm only going to come out worse on the other end. That's okay. I come out worse out of every situation.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Thank you for relaying that, Jules. Or Jules, I'm not sure.
Oh, goddamn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Really? Continue?
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Over.
Thank you for that.
Mullen dicked us.
That's not my name. Can we just move on? I just want to get it reported and be done with it.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Thank you for that. Hey, I leveled up again, so that's nice. Continue?
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What, do you always call me that? Is it because I do the names of, like do I name my cases in a fashion that makes you think of Dick Mullen novels? Is that why? It would be really convenient if you could use my real name right now. Just saying. Continue.
What's going on?
Hi, Mac Torson. Who are you?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
Super Cop, huh?
He lost his what now?
You don't have a French accent.
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
Neither does Chester, come down to that. Great. Could you all please stop saying lost his badge for a moment? Enough with this now. I have other things to discuss. How come I can hear them, but they can't hear me? I guess because probably the operator's using a headset or something like that. Defending myself.
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
Thank you. Thank you for relaying that.
Why? Did he find it?
The room at the other end of the line erupts in volcanic laughter.
Sergeant Person was wondering if you found your badge yet. Over.
You're just as... Okay, you're on their side, I understand. Continue.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
Say nothing. Challenging failure. I tried. Say nothing.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it.
You can hear laughter in the background. Enough with this. I have other things to discuss, please.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
The animated conversation is in the back is making it difficult for him to hear you. Okay, continue.
No heights even for Captain Sober.
Oh, boy.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
Now that you mention it, yes. The speaker gasps for air. The room roars with laughter. Continue.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun, too. Over.
Oh, this is a different colored continue bar. I'm guessing this one's gonna fail.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you?
Oh, God, it's not here. I don't have my gun! These are both internal thoughts. I didn't even know I had a gun, but I guess it makes sense. It's not here.
Okay, it's gone. Your gun is most definitely gone.
Yup.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Drama Medium 11 convince them that you didn't lose your gun. Say nothing. Do we try it? It's a pretty good chance. I'm a fairly dramatic person. I'd be lying to the station. It means I can't ask for another gun. Do I want a gun? I don't think I want a gun, necessarily. The only other option is saying nothing. Oh, no. This seems like... This is just saving face with expenses to pay later. But, like... Eventually, I'm going to start taking mental damage here, right? I'm getting laughed at a lot. I don't know how fragile my ego necessarily is. Let's try it.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
Wow, I failed. Great. Well, no, of course I didn't lose my gun. Gun! My fun. Gun, fuck it. I didn't lose my gun.
He says he didn't lose his gun. or his fun, whatever that means.
Great.
Ask him to describe it. His gun. Not his fun. Just the gun will do.
He laughs. Continue.
Satellite Officer MacLeod requests a description of your weapon. Over.
Whisper to Lieutenant. Kim, what are you packing? It's a gun, what can I say? A regular goddamn murder weapon, you know how they are. Bang, bang! Look, I don't have it, alright? I don't have my gun. I failed the cover story. I'm just embarrassing myself here. I don't have it. I don't have it! I don't have it!
He says he doesn't have it.
Now even the operator's laughing.
Dear God, he lost his gun?
Yep.
Oh my, I can't.
The man succumbs to laughter again. Lovely!
This isn't really a laughing matter.
Agreed!
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself, but Disco here made him piss his pants.
Oh, Mac, right, Mac Torson. Sorry, it took me a second. The Giant of Coco Nur. I don't know what that is. I got confused. Maybe my encyclopedia will come in handy here, but Disco here. Apparently, Disco is me now. I guess it's the clothing, isn't it? It's the clothing. Continue.
Oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost his ass, but he still got his wiener.
Great, thank you, Mac. You're very helpful. Continue.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, thank you for not.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over.
Yes, I lost my wiener too. Just lay off, okay? I left it at his mama's after I fucked her ass all night. Tell him that. I don't need to listen to this firewalker out. Can't get much worse. I just want to. I didn't even manage. I have to still talk to them. I still have to talk to them. I need information about who I am, but this is not the people to talk to about it. They know who I am. They clearly know who I am, but they're not going to use my name because I'm a laughing stock, apparently. Just go with it. It's fine. Every time I've tried to fight back, it is just backfired. Just fine.
He acknowledges your joke and asks you to lay off.
Yeah, that one.
Lay off. Lay off? Tell him we'll lay off when he retreats the goddamn police property that he has been entrusted with.
Yeah, that would be great. Except
Satellite Officer.
I heard him and I'm on it. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good without my gun, thanks. Fine.
10-4, affirmative. Officer is in pursuit of his firearm.
They're static. Did they hang up on me?
Oh, God,
The man is fighting back tears. Yes, apparently he is.
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over.
I don't want to talk to them about it, but I gotta at least try, right? This might sound odd. Personal details I'd like to discuss.
Okay, 10-4, sir. I hear you. Relay your question. Over.
Continue.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through.
What's there to think about? I need information, not fear. Fair point. What's there to think about?
You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
He's clearly not. Continue.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
Hold on, are you alone in the room? I need some confidential information about myself. I wanted to know if you got my badge's description right in your report. Could you read it to me? Name, rank, date of birth. Please refer to me with my full name in the future. Any news about my own family? Have I ever told you about my life before the RCM? Yeah, let's wrap this up. Conclude. He's just going to share it with them afterwards. You know he is. Just ask the basic question. It's fine.
That's a negative, sir. I got 10-12 visitors present here. Over.
I feel like you didn't necessarily need to read that out loud. Then I don't have any questions for you. Let's wrap this up.
Understood, sir. Over.
It would be nice if I could just ask them for money, but I'm guessing, given that I lost the gun, they're not going to try and help me on that one. Let's just ask.
10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but...
Yeah, let's go and talk to the people who do.
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Yep.
Is he fucking kidding?
I'm not.
I don't think he is.
I've not.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
I mean, that probably would be the case in the past. Hopefully I'm going to do a little better in the future. Continue.
Right. That's a negative on the additional funds. Over.
It's paramount to the investigation that you grant me more money. Please, I'm begging you here. I don't even have a place to sleep tonight. Okay, I heard you. No funds. We're good.
Anything else, sir?
No.
Over.
10-10, transmission completed, standing by, over, end call with the 41st.
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
The static ends with a loud click, and then everything is silent in the cabin. What you got in the toolbox here, Kim? I need something to take my mind off of this.
A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
I believe it. Continue.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
Who are you referring to, I wonder? Continue.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
Take the red tip pry bar, take the rubber-handled chain cutters, take the hand-cranked flashlight, push in the pull-out toolbox. It seems to me that more tools is more better. Do I have weight limits or something like that? Pry bar.
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think.
Okay.
Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids.
Right. The flashlight seems like it'll definitely come in handy. Hand crank flashlight, please.
It's robust, weatherproof, and well made. Police issue. Blue.
Great.
Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss.
Which seems very useful. Chain cutters. I don't have an immediate purpose for chain cutters, and I feel like those are big, awkward things to carry around, but if you need them, you need them. Sure.
The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand.
Is it okay if I take everything?
You can do good work with these. Cut chains, locks, and ropes, especially belts.
Belts? Like someone bound with a belt? Is that what you're... Oh! The corpse. Right. Push in the pull-out toolbox. We're good here.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
Run your fingers over one of the steering levers. Tap on the fuel preheater gauge. I don't feel like I need to turn on the car. What happens if I just run my fingers over the steering levers?
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm.
Do I have one of these myself?
Your fingers waste no time closing around the handle. Clutch disengaged. Release the handle. Clutch drops. Right foot yearns for the familiar touch of the accelerator pedal. You have synced with the machine's mechanical circulation.
Do I know how to operate this machine? How are you, my friend? Where have you been? Release the clutch handle. Clearly I do know how to operate this machine. Let's go with this one.
The smell of freshly treated leather, the lack of dirt and dust on the dashboard, and a neat little brush in the cup holder, all seem to be whispering, I'm good, cherished and cared for, in the hands of a tending owner.
Which is to say, not me. Apparently I can go on to wonder if I know how to operate this machine, which clearly I do.
You feel an uninterrupted connection to the mechanics.
Wait, does it mean I know how to pilot it? Release the clutch and squeeze it again.
After a while, you realize silence is your only answer. Do what you will with it.
I suppose. I'm only talking to my brain after all. Release the clutch and squeeze it again.
Of course it's only in your head. Of course it is. But it almost feels as if the clutch handle is gently squeezing back.
So I like driving then? to put it lightly, where have you been? Oh, heel.
At the bottom of the sea.
Did I drive my car into the ocean? What?
So strange. The machine is not on the bottom of the sea at all. It's right in front of you, well kept. Why did it say that?
I think I know. Release the clutch handle, please.
The handle is pulled back. Somewhere deep inside the drivetrain, the disc is mated to the flywheel again.
Right. Continue.
In the cabin, you see a set of
Yes.
steering levers.
Close the door. We're good here. Okay, I'm going to do a thing right now. Volition. Level up. Revert. Oh, so if I hit level up and I decide I didn't want to, I can revert it. Accept changes and close, though. Accept changes. My brain is at the threshold at all times. I need a little bit of a buffer here, please. Look at that. 2 morale. Look at me go. Look at me go. I'm unstoppable. Yeah, that's leveled up. It cannot... Oh, skill cap reached. That's as good as it gets. Lovely. Well, my endurance can go pretty high thanks to that thought that I have going, but I'd need a whole bunch of experience if I wanted to do that thing, so... Alright. Pay for damages. Attestation for additional funds. Did that. Failed. Got it. Track down your badge. It's unclear how you should go about finding a tiny piece of plastic in a world as huge as this. Maybe you'll just stumble across it down the line. Miracles happen. Track down your gun. Someone must know something about your lost firearm. Maybe a district authority, like someone high up in the Union, or someone local who saw you with it before you passed out, the Whirling's absent bartender. You could also ask the local pawn shop. Find any information you can on the gun. Okay. Hey, look at that. My stats are here. Superstar Cop 2, Apocalypse Cop 0, Sorry Cop 3, Boring Cop 0. Apparently I'm not boring. Communist 3, Fascist 0, Ultraliberal 0, Moralist 1. Good Cop, Bad Cop 3, Honor none. People killed 3. And these we've seen. Huh. Look at that. Stats. Worrisome. Pry bar. The red tip pry bar has Carson T Heavy Duty engraved just below the handle. It's satisfyingly heavy and perhaps one of the most useful tools to carry around. Equip this to open locked containers in the world. Right. Flashlight. A police flashlight bearing the logo of Grundstellung RAO. The small dynamo packed inside this handheld illumination device theoretically gives you the ability to produce a tiny amount of electricity anytime, anywhere. Seems useful. Chain cutters. The meanest looking pair of cutters you have ever seen. Made in Gottwald by Wallschirm Werkzeuge. I think. No chain, wire, or barbed fence will ever stand in your way again. They look hungry, ready to chew steel. Great. Seems potentially useful down the line. Okay. Well, I have failed to learn my name. I have reported my badge missing. I'm not sure it did me that much good. But I did it. Gardner's still here. She wouldn't happen to have more ammonia, would she? Almost certainly not. If I want more, I'm probably going to have to go buy it. She probably only had the 1 ampoule. I want to take another swing at the corpse, but I'm thinking I'm going to fail. And I don't know what to do about that. Hi, it's me again.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Things are bad. I can't ask you for more ammonia. That's just as well. I have to run. All right. Then we're just going to do this. In that case, we're just going to do this. And I'm going to puke on the floor again, and then we're going to call it good for today. I haven't gotten any better at this. Do I want to change that? Do I want to level up my endurance before we try this? Give myself at least a +1? Physique base +2. Learn skill +0, but I could make that a 1. How important is it that I start getting these thoughts going? The bow collector and white morning, I'm guessing are going to be important, but I'm thinking also that I can only do 1 thought per slot, and if I get rid of it, it immediately is gone forever. Right? And if I fail this again, I'm going to need to redo volumetric shit compressors, so why don't we go ahead and... It's fine. Close thought tape cabinet. Endurance. It's fine. Accept the changes. 1 more try. I'm a little bit tougher. I'm a little bit wiser. Probably not wise enough.
He still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Wait. +6. Shit compressed. I didn't even need to... I want my experience back. Should have checked it before I spent it. Ugh. I could have had a thought slot. Guess there's always more in the future. Hopefully I get some experience for doing my job. Let go of your nose without throwing up.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons.
Do they always do that? Step closer. Do they always do what? I have to know, so I have to ask.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Yeah, no doubt. Step closer, I guess. Thankfully, I probably don't have to make another check to do this.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots.
Thanks for the underpants.
His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
And that is why we brought the bolt cutters with. Inspect the boots. I am curious about the boots. Inspect the belt, inspect the tattoos, look him in the eye, squint, and take a step back. So how do we get him down? Leave. What is the deal with those boots? Let me see those boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them.
Interesting. I'm guessing this is just worker equipment, but I've certainly never seen anything like that. They look like mecha legs. Continue.
Delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you. Out of place somehow.
They do, yes. Most of the stuff that I'm seeing in this game seems familiar in some fashion or another, but boots like this, that doesn't seem familiar. Continue.
These are clearly not boots. They're armor.
Yeah.
Possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots, are they? This is the armor he was stripped of. Back off. This one.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
With his notebook under his arm, the lieutenant crouches to inspect the soles. I almost corrected my pronunciation of lieutenant, but then I didn't. And then I did. Continue.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Interesting that you noticed that and not the reference to sabatons. Forget about the notebook. Tell me about the armor. Thanks. Super useful to know. Encyclopedia. I do want to know about the armor, please.
It's clearly some manner of super armor. Or future armor. Super future armor. I'm useless.
Oh, come on now. What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the hill. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Apparently. He turned the boot slightly, by the way. Where's the rest of it? Scavenged by the locals? The material looks out of place here. Knock on a boot. Pull the boot off. Back off and look at the corpse. I'm guessing that the foot under the enamel boots is going to be in terrible condition. Either that or it's going to be hermetically sealed and perfectly fresh, but I doubt it. Where's the rest of it?
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't.
A breakthrough's imminent. Guillaume de Millon. It would be odd if they didn't, you're right.
We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
He nods towards Kuno, who's eyeing you suspiciously. I was gonna say, right, like, I went along with the insistence of my brain that talking to them was pointless, but then they absolutely responded when I puked. Like, they were interested in that. They were just ignoring me. It's not that they're unresponsive. I shouldn't take things at face value. Understood. Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there's no rest of the armor. Seems unlikely, but let's pass the idea.
No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirts we found to get to it.
Right.
And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
Yeah, okay. Under fabrics. Interesting. Huh. That seems like it would feel awkward.
Nice. That makes sense.
What if they told him to strip before they hung him up? To demean him. He could have just been walking around naked, just like this, for all we know. Let's go with the first one. I'm trying to be helpful still.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties, and the like. This one still has his underpants.
He certainly does. I don't know who these are, but based on the names, what I can interpret of them, I'm guessing we're talking like gang activity, maybe? I don't know, but I know this is a rude phrase. Continue.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Yes, we are, Kuno. Thank you for that contribution.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
Clearly. The material looks out of place here. It does.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
Oof, that's quite a few. How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Whoa, wow. That is a lot of money, I assume.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Wait, my yearly pay is 5,500 real? Ka-ching, baby! Nod to the boots. That's a lot, I take it? I just like the idea of saying my inside thoughts out loud.
Not too much, yes.
Interesting that Kim took that in stride. It's enough. Pathetic. I need to hustle more and hate less. Sounds puny. No wonder I can't pay my hostel bill. Hustle more and hate less. It does sound a little bit puny, I guess. 5,500 real. I have no perception. I have no perspective, but I did find $5 in a person's, or 5 real, in a person's wallet that I stole from them. So presumably, yeah, that's not that much.
It's a sorry situation, I agree.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out.
He checks his notes.
Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Initial report? These look pretty advanced for a security guard. Okay, makes sense. Initial report?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
That's a lot to assume there, my friend. These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Okay, so we're talking outside forces here, maybe. I don't know. Knock on that boot!
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile, but it almost certainly isn't.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely.
He points to the boots.
See?
I'm not sure how I would see, but let's have a look.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates, where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates, until there are hundreds of them altogether.
Pretty neat.
Like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony, perhaps.
What does this remind me of? Not interested. Listen, if I've got a path in my brain I can follow, I'm following it. What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Interesting. Run your fingers over the lines.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice.
I notice something?
The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000.
Point to it. Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton. That does seem trivial check. Just because I was inspecting them closely, I guess. Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
He tips the drying ballpoint of his pen on his tongue. He tips it on his tongue? Is that how it... I've never heard it referred to as that. Okay, I think I understand.
X5415 6745 678222. Let's lie.
Hey, how about not, brain? That sounds like a terrible idea. Plus, I'm guessing he knows enough to know that that's not a serial number. Let's not. Let's not.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Let's use yours. Mine seems hostile. Pull the boot off, please. Try that, pulling that boot off.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Can I stop this action?
Stop!
Lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with a boot under your arm. Continue.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Oh boy, continue.
Brutal!
What? Lieutenant, you seem distressed. Distressed, why? Oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it? Let go of the boot. This is a bad idea, isn't it?
You're going to pull his head off.
Continue.
Do it, homo!
I'm not a homo. Do what? I'm gonna pull his head off, right?
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please, don't.
Continue, please don't do it.
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
That's gross. Continue.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
These boots would go super well with my bell-bottoms pants. This is advanced enemy technology. We should conduct research into their weaknesses. Are we not detectives? There may be clues inside the boot. Clues inside the boot. You said they're expensive. I thought I could pawn them, earn some lucre. I'm sorry, I didn't even want to take them off. I just thought I should try. I guess I didn't think about it. It was just an option. Let's go ahead and apologize more. I'm sorry, cop.
Try what exactly?
If you can't experiment, how will you learn?
I wanted to see what happens. I might have wanted to experiment, you know, get an exploratory jive going. I have no idea why. I just do things. There's no underlying reason. This is the honest truth. There is underlying reason, but it's not necessarily the most logical all the time. I wanted to see what happens.
I don't think we should do anything just for the hell of it. Besides,
Lieutenant taps on the boot.
There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now.
Right.
Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
I mean, good point. Continue.
There might still be a way to peel them off, but first, the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Sounds like a plan, except steal a dead man's boots, but that would be dishonorable. Refuse for honor. Honor 0. Sounds like a plan, except
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
Nice and cracky. What's going to happen to the boots then? Okay, got it. Let's just not bring up the boots anymore. Okay, got it.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights.
He looks
Should
for
we
the boots.
continue?
Should we continue? Back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect that belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
Right. Okay.
This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is for the reinforced kind, for air transport. My brain tells me so. Then again, what do I know? I don't even know what an airship is. My brain tells me so, Kim.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
It does seem that way. We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it? They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring. How did they even get him up there? Back off and look at the corpse. That is a great question, but let's go with this one first.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
But this is why I took the friggin' bolt cutters from your car. It's fine. We're assuming dock worker from the harbor did it? Well, we shouldn't be assuming that, but it seems like a lead, right?
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike.
He politely raises an eyebrow. Makes sense. Believably mundane. I feel like it was something else. Don't ask me, I'm just lumbering from one moment to the next. I do feel like it was something else. I do feel like it was something else, but I don't have evidence yet. Just a feeling. Just a feeling, Kim.
Yes, it often is. This bell worries me.
He covers his nose. How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder? Point to the one at the side of the tree.
That ladder can't carry a grown man.
No.
I didn't see any splintering either. Did you?
No.
I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Ah. Sure, he makes a pulling motion. Illustrative.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
It does. It does. Back off.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt.
Yeah.
Limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
You honestly don't need to keep mentioning. But let's inspect those tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Okay, is this a map of the night sky? Is this a microelectronic system? Is this a national pattern? It doesn't seem like the night sky. Small white stars, sure, but like... Should we just go... Well, it seems most likely it's going to be a national pattern, right? Let's go with that.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship.
Innocentic.
But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
We're missing something here.
I agree.
A sudden ring fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. To what end?
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm.
Okay, good to know.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Seems useful. What is that exactly? Let the lieutenant work. No, I want to know what it is.
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
I have no idea what that is. Encyclopedia?
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Okay.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
Kuno S? Wait, are your names Kuno and Kuno S? Really? Anyway, continue.
An instant color camera.
He produces 2 metal-capped ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then...
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
That's an interesting way to have that technology work. An ampoule of glass. Neat. Seems messy, though. Continue.
In case we need it.
The lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine. What do we need this photo for? In case we need it, he just said. Cool machine.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
He slides the camera closed and tucks it away on his belt. It is.
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
No doubt. What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence.
Could be.
The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him.
Right.
It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
It's a very good point you have there, Kim. Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell. I am the main character, Kim. Can I have it?
Sure. Just don't lose it.
I'll try not to. He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes. Continue.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
I mean, that's a fancy way to word it, but you did just say that his skin is as colorful as the photo of his skin. That's what you said. Look him in the eye. Why would I do that?
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there.
Thank you for not actually illustrating them protruding comically from their sockets. Continue.
Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
I wish I could change my equipment on the fly because I feel like I could raise my inland empire, but tell me, who are you, dead man? This is a white check. I may retry it.
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
It's a mystery, isn't it? Continue.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50. with an athletic build.
Anyway, back off. Thank you.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
They don't look... Doesn't seem like they're probably eyes like a shark. They're bulging from his sockets and stuff. Oh, look at that. One check got put in the main list. That's convenient. Squint and take a step back? I think that's just to back off further. How do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
He stops to think, then checks his notes. Step back and have another look first.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
And as you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink.
Right.
This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs, too. Stop, relax your eyes. No, I'm observing something. Let's observe it.
I see it. His neck, too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
He adjusts his glasses. Relax your eyes.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something.
Gross.
Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
Also gross. Continue.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. I think he was up right after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored. Cover your nose. Something is coming out of him. He's beaten up. See the bruises? Well, this is what I was just observing. This is also relevant, I would think. Let's go with this.
Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
He points to the belt. Yep, seems like a lynching to me. Could it still be he was moved after death? Maybe he was strangled by someone. Let's question it, at least.
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
We will. Something's coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
Lovely.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
Wow, you've definitely done this before, huh?
The fuck he's saying?
It doesn't matter to you, Kuno.
Talking about shit.
We got lucky. Maybe he went to the toilet some time before death. Goddamn right, I'm a... Turn around and yell. Do we want to shout at the children? Oh. Half a kilogram of digestion. Do we take this seriously or do we shout at the children? Seriously, children. Slight video skip here because I was waiting for some emergency sirens to go by. I feel like yelling at the children.
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. Sounds like seagulls.
Lovely.
Big said he's a...
Yeah, I sure did, but I said a slur. I feel bad about that.
The lieutenant's face is made of stone.
Yes, I'm sure it is. He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Yes, they have. Throwing rocks at him. Yes, right, of course. I didn't even think about it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have...
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
We're not talking to you.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Oh, you're... The girl yells. You're a girl. That's why you're Kuno S. I see. And that's why your voice is high as well. I think he's dead.
I agree.
Good.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
It does seem to be the case.
Totally dead.
The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago. No, better not to say that. Too heavy. Totally. This Buster's not coming back. Dead, deady, dead, dead, dead. What is dead, anyway? We're going with this one.
Dabba-doob-doob dead.
He says without a hint of melody. Not one muscle in his face moves. I am pleased by this interaction. Back off and catch your breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
Do I put skill points into Inland Empire to open this white check? It has to be skill points? Hang on, leave for a second. What's this?
Guillaume Le Million.
Oh! Thought complete. Guillaume Le Million. Look at...
Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation.
Where do we go?
His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
That does seem to make sense. Great. So I'm not him. That's fine. Look at his neck in this thought. It's made up of several heads. But I guess, wow, that's sure something. That right there, that's sure something. Except, I accept. What does that do? Bonuses from the thought. +1 pain threshold. Blood oxygen is boring. All psyche learning caps raised by 1. That could be useful. That could be useful. This right here. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. But I also had that +6 for that one check. I don't know if that ever comes up again. I don't know. In any case, I don't have enough experience to learn another thought, so that's fine. Now then, what do I have affecting my Inland Empire? I have a +2. Do I have any way of getting it any higher than that? Probably not. Not at the moment. The question is, do we cut him down? Oh, wait a second. Instant photo of tattoos. Let's inspect the item.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man.
I've heard this before. This is exactly the same
From the
thing.
right shoulder,
Continue.
the pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar.
Who are you?
Gone.
Yes. What's the meaning of this tattoo?
For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance.
Seems like it.
Someone who knows about history could tell you.
I wonder if I should talk to to Lena. She probably knows something about history, but she didn't say she was a smart person, but she might know. She seems to know about the past anyway. Put the photo away. Great. So I can't raise my Inland Empire any higher. And I don't know if I can make the Who Are You Dead Man check again if I cut him down. Okay.
Hobo.
Oh, Hobo Cop's complete. Wow, my face is melting, or somebody's is.
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures.
Right.
But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old L'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers? To Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Aramakan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last.
I feel like we've abandoned the cop portion of Hobo Cop here, so I cannot be hobo and cop. I must only be hobo, and you have an interesting view of what hobos get up to, huh? Secrets of the cities. Accept. Bonuses from the thought. Reveals extra special collector's edition tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tear. Learning cap for shivers raised to 6. Wait a second. So I can find bottles and sell them for money. Because hobo, that's actually very useful. I need money very badly right now. Okay, well, interesting. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I'm inclined to cut him down. However, I've been going for nearly 2 hours, and I just noticed. And I'm really sorry about that. I get really caught up on what's going on. I knew it was going to be a little bit of a long one, but I also wasn't expecting to pass that check with inspecting the body. So I guess I need to stop here, and I'm sorry. Which seems to be something that I'm saying a lot in this particular playthrough, but that will probably continue. So thank you for watching. Next time, I will probably cut this man out of the tree, finally, after a week. It's going to be great, I'm sure. And maybe I'll talk to these guys. Kuno and Kuno S. That sounds like super plan. I'll see you next time.